Hi, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to my assessor Madam Husna and Miss Delina. Today I will present about my prototype which is actually about gathering logs data for evidence and visualize the dataset interactively. To investigate the data, the analysts need to prepare what kind of attack and what the source comes from, so that the analysts can quickly identify, isolate and defend the system. By using my prototype, the analyst can reduce the time taken to investigate the logs data. First, we head up to the web interface. This is the front main page of Nveck, which is Interactive Graph Database Network Logs Analysis and Visualization. Next, we go to the analysis. Click Take Me There to go to the visualization. On this page, you can see the network flow on the dataset that I collect and analyze. The dataset is in the CSV file format. The data being deployed on the live graph database and visualize it on this web. As you can see the network inside this area, there are two main areas which is internal and external area. This side is the internal area and this side is the external area. Next, we go to the real visualization. Okay, I explain first about the internal. The network in the internal is in the OpenStack environment and it has 4 subnets, which is developer, office, management, and internal server. On the external area, there is an external server. In each of the subnets, there is an ID, type, and the source IP from each of the subnet. As you can see in this on the developer area, this is the ID, source IP, and the type. Next, in the office, in the management, and in the internal server. All of this connection is connected to the router. For external area, the ID from each of the external server is from the internet connection. So for the internal, the attack logs was collected by the router that being saved in the detail internal. Next, on the external area, we have the external server that connects to the internet. The external server is connected to the firewall, then connect to the router. The detailed external is collecting the external attack data. So, for internal is detailed internal and external is detailed external that are collecting the network log attack data. Okay, next we move into the project demo. On this area, we can see that the internal connection has many connections that happening on the developer side area. There are many attacks has been done by the developer which they try to attack on the management, office and internal server. The attack occur on the internal is brute force, port scan and DOS attack. On the external side, the attacker is trying to attack on the external server, which the attack was brute force and port scan. As you can see the connection just now, we digging into the data path attack. With this, you can see the path of the attack chosen. Then it will show you the result of the attack. This log already being filtered on attack only. First, we go to detail internal one to get the source data. And then connect to developer 13 because the IP of developer 13 is 192.168.220.16, which is the IP will connect to the router, and then we choose management 4. So below here you can see the result of the attack, which is the ID, the source IP of the attack, the destination, the start of the event and the end of the event, the duration, protocol, the packet, flows, the attack ID, which is doing a port scan, and the description of the attack. On this area, you can see the data path of the attack. This is the result of the relationship between the source IP and the destination IP. Next, we go to the detail internal. We connect to the same IP and then connect to the router. Then we go to internal server, we choose one. Then we see the result. The results show that the source IP, destination IP of the attack, the start of the event, the duration, protocol, and the attacker is doing a DOS attack with the description. On this area, it shows the data path of the attack. And lastly, we choose detail internal. To the developer, we choose the different developer because the IP is 192.168.220.14. So we connect to the router, then we choose an internal server, which is internal server 2. On this attack, the attacker is doing a brute force attack. And on this graph, you can see the data path of the attack. Okay, why I choose developer 13? Because the data source from developer 13 is likely to attack on the internal network area. And why I choose a different detail internal? Because the data source from the attack is from the different source. Next, we head up to the external area. We choose a detail external 8. Then go to external server 1. And then you can see the result of the attack. In this area, you can see the graph data path attack. Next, we choose detail external 10. Then we connect to external server 4. You can see the attacker used a port scan. And lastly, we go to detail external 22. Then we connect to the external server 2. Then there is the attack. The result will be shown down here. And this is the result from the graph. Next, I will show you the result of all the attacks occur on these network logs. You need to go to detail internal and detail external to see the result of the attack. This is the result of detail internal. You need to connect the detail to developer and connect to the router to show the full result of the attack. This area will show the result of all graph data path attack relationship between the developer and the internal network area. And below this, it will show the result in text information format. And this is the result from the detail external. Go to the detail and connect to the external server to see the result of the attack. This will show the result of graph data path attack on the external server area. Below this, it will show the result in text information format. For this project, I include my future work that will be developed which user can upload the network logs to the cloud service on Google Drive using the Google spreadsheet. Then the data will visualize based on the logs. So for the conclusion, with all of this, we can identify the possible attack on the logs so that the analyst can prepare on the next event to identify more precise. And lastly, there is the demo of my project. Thank you for watching and give a good comment. And see you on the live poster presentation. Thank you and Selamat Hari Raya.